Hi, I'm Sherry Greenberg, Director of the Center for Politics and Governance at the LBJ School of Public Affairs. As a former state representative for 10 years, I've had my share of debates and town hall meetings. And today we're going to look at yesterday's presidential debate with its town hall format. So let's get started. So what were my overall impressions of last night's presidential debate? First of all, I visualized boxing. I visualized the boxing ring with the stage the way it was set up. I visualized the circling in the boxing. And of course, we had the punch and counterpunch. Obama and Romney were circling each other, but they both had missions to accomplish at this match, and they did that. Obama had to show that he was invigorated, that he had passion and fire, and he did do that. He was particularly strong on women's issues, on immigration, and on Libya. Romney had to show that he was here to stay, that he could continue to look presidential, and that he could continue to hit on the economy and jobs, and he did that.
You took Chrysler bankrupt. So when you say that I wanted to take the auto industry bankrupt, you actually did. And I think it's important to know that that was a process that was necessary to get those companies back on their feet so they could start hiring more people. That was precisely what I recommended and ultimately what happened.
And we would have lost 1 million jobs. And that, don't take my word for it, take the executives at GM and Chrysler, some of whom were Republicans, may even support Governor Romney. But they'll tell you his prescription wasn't going to work. And Governor Romney says he's got a 5-point plan. Governor Romney doesn't have a 5-point plan. He has a 1-point plan. And that plan is to make sure that folks at the top play by a different set of rules.
Romney has had a strength in his campaign talking about economy and jobs. And he's talked about how he knows how to create jobs and he can get the economy going again. But we saw that Obama was able to land a really solid counterpunch. Romney's talked about his 5-point plan to get the economy going again and to create jobs. But Obama has said, really, Romney, you only have a 1-point plan, and that's to help the rich.
I want to bring the rates down. I want to simplify the tax code, and I want to get middle-income taxpayers to have lower taxes. And the reason I want middle-income taxpayers to have lower taxes is because middle-income taxpayers have been buried over the past 4 years.
Let's talk about the specifics in last night's boxing match. Romney is strongest when he talks about jobs and the economy. This has been the central theme of his campaign, and he continued with it last night. It also gave him the opportunity to riff a little on Biden's gaffe of a couple of weeks ago regarding the middle class being buried over the past 4 years.
I said, well, gosh, can't we find some women that are also qualified? And so we took a concerted effort to go out and find women who had backgrounds that could be qualified to become members of our cabinet. I went to a number of women's groups and said, can you help us find folks? And they brought us whole binders full of women.
The first presidential debate set Twitter on fire. And as we can see, this presidential debate had its Twitter moment also. Twitter went wild when Romney, in the discussion of the glass ceiling and women, said, binders full of women.
Whether Secretary of State, our UN ambassador, anybody on my team would play politics or mislead when we've lost 4 of our own, Governor, is offensive.
In this debate, Obama had to show that he was strong, that he was engaged, and that he had passion. And he certainly did that in the discussion regarding Libya. He showed real emotion when he talked about the caskets of the public servants coming home and how he took offense to Romney's comments. Obama also showed real strength. He talked about accountability, how he was accountable, he's the commander in charge, and he was accepting responsibility. So if you ask me who won last night, well, we can look at the polls. They showed that Obama won, although not as much as Romney did the first time. And if you look at states, Colorado was stronger. But in the end, I think this was a TKO for Obama. What does this mean? It means this election is still a nail-biter.